with all the women that I care for during their pregnancy and birth, postnatal period, we talk a lot about being aware of our thoughts, being aware of feelings, because what happens when we have a thought is that it transfers into neuropeptides, which then target hormones, hormones that make you feel happy or sad or stressed. And it's very important to be aware of this during your pregnancy because it affects the way in which the baby's neurology is formed. Now, scientists like Dr. Bruce Lipton have talked about this extensively in epigenetics. So it's part of our journey to be very aware of this. One of the ways in which I found out about it was through my own discovery of what happened inside my mother's womb. I was having difficulties with finding direction in my midwifery probably about 3 years ago because I didn't seem to be making much of an impact in changing birth on earth. So I went to a kinesiologist to find out what the blocks were. And while he's doing all these things with the chakras and the energy centers and asking me questions, he says to me, "What happened at 3 months inside your mother's womb?" Now, I was adopted and I'd only just found my birth parents about 6 years before that. So I kind of didn't know, but I went back to their letters, and 3 months gestation was exactly the time that they both told both parents that my mother was pregnant. The year was 1960. Good Catholic family. You can imagine what happened from there. My birth mother was then sent from the North Island to the South Island in New Zealand to a convent for unwed mothers. Her siblings were not to be told of my existence, and her pregnancy was one of isolation and rejection by her family, one of sin and, everything that went with the time. Those feelings of rejection are something that I feared my entire life. But now that I have realized where it's from and gone through the healing processes myself, it's made a huge difference. So I can't emphasize enough, it's really important not only to heal birth trauma that you experience yourself giving birth, but to inquire about your own time in your mother's womb. This came to light particularly when I was caring for a lady and we transferred to hospital because we were getting into difficulty at home. There was no progress in the labour, and although she was labouring beautifully and had done all the preparation, there was a vital point that we had missed, and it was what she had experienced inside her mother's womb. So whilst we were sitting waiting for assessments and whatnot, I was talking to her mum, who said that she wasn't surprised because her birth was difficult and long. Her baby didn't want to come out because of the trauma she had experienced from an abusive husband while she was pregnant. It all made sense. And since kind of realizing how important this is and knowing that we can do something about it and heal it, it's become paramount that in my own practice that I'm really inquiring as to a woman's issues and background, not just about the pregnancy. So it is something that can be healed. You just need to know about it. And even if you don't know, then it's something to explore and ask perhaps your mother about. Because believe you me, now when I look back on my practice, it plays an important part in your labour and birthing, and probably your mothering. So I am holding a Letting Go of Your Birth Trauma retreat on February the 14th to the 16th. And if you'd like to inquire, my email and contact number is at the end of this video. Thank you.